Welcome to visamtechtalk. Today I'm going to start a new series on machine learning programming. I'm a .NET developer, so I'm looking for any new technologies which are new in the market. I want to use those new technologies and implement in .NET application. So I try to use this machine learning programming in .NET Core. I have implemented. So before going to discuss on how I have implemented machine learning programming in .NET application, let's try to understand what are the fundamentals required for machine learning programming. In today's agenda, in this video, we are trying to understand what is machine learning, where we can use machine learning, what are the different types of machine learnings are there, and what are the advantages of machine learning. These are the 4 topics today I am going to cover in this video. Let's see what is machine learning. Machine learning is a growing technology which enables computers to learn automatically from past data. So machine learning is introduced by Arthur Samuel in 1959. What he said is, machine learning is a field of study that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. What does it mean? It means to say, a machine has to learn on its own to analyze the data without programming explicitly. That's what it intention. Being a human, suppose if you want to analyze any data, for example, when you are going to a market, when you see an apple, we can directly say that that is an apple. So how we are going to say that is an apple? Because we have kept that apple picture in our mind and we have tagged a name, that's an apple. If any object which is looking like that, we can call it as an apple. So that picture is coming into your mind and it is representing as apple. So that is, by seeing the data, past data, humans are able to understand that this is an apple. So in the same manner, machine also needs to understand without explicitly programming anything. By the previous data, it need to analyze that data and give the output. That's what the intention. If you see this example here, what human is saying is, I can learn everything automatically from experience. The same way, a machine also can understand by feeding the machine with past data. So if you give some data, feed some data into the machine, based on the data, it can consider as a model, and based on that model, if you give any data which you want to analyze, that what is that data, by matching this data with the past data which is loaded into the system, it's going to analyze the data and give the output. So in the real world, we are surrounded by humans who can learn everything from their experience. With their learning capability, we have computers or machines which work on our instructions. But machine can also learn from experience or past data like humans. That is called machine learning. We can say machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that is mainly concerned with the development of algorithms. It allows a computer to learn from the data and past experience on their own with the help of sample historical data, which is known as training data. So machine learning algorithms built a mathematical model that helps in making predictions or decisions without being explicitly programmed. So by seeing this picture, we can understand that machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Now we are not targeting deep learning concepts. We are targeting only the machine learning concepts here. So machine learning is using these algorithms to analyze the data. So the data which is loaded is called trained data. So machine learning uses various algorithms for building mathematical models and making predictions using historical data or information. So usually this machine learning is currently used in various tasks like image recognition, speech recognition, email filtering, Facebook auto tagging. So different type of functionalities are implemented with the help of this machine learning. We can discuss more on these machine learning concepts in the coming slides. Let's try to see machine learning process. So in the machine learning process, there are various steps are there. We can understand all these steps, how the machine learning process is happening. Let's take an example. Suppose we have a complex problem when we need to perform some predictions. So instead of writing a code for it, we just need to feed the data to generate algorithms. And with the help of these algorithms, usually machine builds the logic as per the data and predict the output. This is what the overall process. So in the step 1, we are going to understand and we are going to feed the data. So this is called historical data. In step 2, we are cleaning the data. In step 3, we are building the model, which is called as prediction models, where we are going to use as a base for predicting the output. So step 4, we got the input to predict it. In step 5, we are going to use this input and we are comparing with the model and we are giving the output. This is the overall process we are following in terms of machine learning process. We will see more examples how this machine learning process is happening in the coming slides. So in the next slide, we will see what are the different types of machine learning programs are there. So we will understand how we are going to implement this process in the coming slides. So let's see what are the different types of machine learning types. So in this diagram, we can understand that machine learning types are divided into 4 categories. That is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, and reinforcement learning. These are the 4 different types of learnings are there in machine learning. So if you see this supervised learning, there are various algorithms are there like regression, classification. These are the various types of algorithms are used in supervised learning to analyze the data and predict the output. So this type of learning, supervised learning algorithm is used to analyze, to predict the house price product predictions or filtering the spam predictions. So like that, tax fare predictions. These are the different types of programs they are using this supervised learning. In the same manner, different algorithms are used in different learning types. What is supervised learning? A supervised learning is a type of machine learning method in which we provide sample label data to the machine learning system in order to train it. And on that basis, it predicts the output. This is overall meaning of supervised learning. So what does it mean? The system creates a model using the label data to understand the data sets and learn about each data. If you see here in this diagram, the training data. So this is nothing but a data which is going to use as a base to predict the output. So by using this training data, algorithms are going to use this and create a model, and this model are going to use to test the input and give the accurate output. This is what happening, right? So learn a model using the trained data, test the model using the unseen test data to access the model accuracy. This is what the example of supervised learning. As I said, training set is going to feed this type of data into the machine learning system. So when you say that if you have an apple in red color, an apple on green color, we can mark it as 1. I mean to say, system you can understand that if anything is either in green or red, so it can be considered as 1. We are calling as apple, so it is going to call it as 1. When you say that a lemon which is either in orange color or a yellow color or a red color, so which is in this shape, it is going to consider as 2. So it can be considered as a 2. Any of this, if you are giving input any of this way, it is considered as 2. If you say watermelon, it is considered as 3. If you say banana, it is going to consider as 4. So this is the master data which is fed into the system. Now machine learning algorithm is going to take this as a model and it is going to use this algorithm, and finally whenever you are giving any input like test data, suppose if I give a watermelon or a lemon, it is going to take that, and it is going to take that input and check in this master data. It's a train data. So in this train data, when you see this watermelon, it is going to take 3. So when you are giving a predicted output, it is giving 3. When you see the lemon, it is going to consider as a true, so it is giving result as a 2. So a train data algorithms are going to use this input and is going to give the prediction. By using this prediction model, it is going to the output. This is what happening in the supervised learning. Let's see a few more examples. Here also same way, we are feeding the master data. I mean to say, it's a label data, which we can call it as label data. So this data is going to be fed into the system, and when we give any input for prediction, this algorithm is going to use this label data and create a prediction model. And with this model, it is going to identify what is this type of image and give the output. This is another example. Let's see one more example. When we are giving a train data, it's apple, banana. So machine learning algorithms like a supervised learning methodology is using this algorithm, one of the algorithm, and it is going to create a model, and it is going to take this input, and it is going to predict the output. This is what happening in supervised learning. In this example also, we can understand that this is a label data. So this label data is fed into the system. Now machine learning algorithms are using this label data, and it is going to take input and is going to create a prediction model. With the help of prediction model, it is going to predict the data and give the output. These are the different examples which we can understand the supervised learning. So before going to see that, finally we can understand here, right? So supervised learning is going to take the raw input, and with the help of a supervisor, so training data is going to be inputting, and we are giving this respected output. So with this help of algorithm, it is going to prepare a processing model and is going to give the output. This is what happening in the supervised learning. What is unsupervised learning? Unsupervised learning is a learning method in which a machine learns without any supervision. So in the previous slide, we can say supervised learning is going to have the raw input data under the supervision, like by labeling that, we are going to understand when an input is given. So this is an apple, this is a mango, like that. So under supervision, it is going to identify and give the prediction. But in terms of unsupervised data, the training is provided to the machine with the set of data that has not been labeled, classified, or categorized, and the algorithm need to act on that data without any supervision. The goal of unsupervised learning is to restructure the input data. It is going to restructure the input data is there, so the algorithm has to understand based on the pattern. So it has to understand and restructure the input data into new feature or a group of objects with a similar pattern. So let's see in this raw input data, the pattern is different. So these 3 are in one pattern, these 3 are in one pattern. So it is going to categorize based on the pattern. So in unsupervised learning, we don't have any predefined result. So the machine tries to find useful insights from the huge amount of data. It can be classified into 2 different categories. Either with the help of clustering algorithm or association algorithm, it has to identify the raw input and give the output. What is reinforcement learning? Reinforcement machine learning is a machine learning model that is similar to supervised learning, but the example is not trained using sample data. So we can say this model learns as it goes on by using trial and error. So a sequence of successful outcomes will be reinforced to develop the best recommendation or policy for a given problem. Let's see this example. So in some applications, the output of the system is a sequence of actions. So the learning in which a machine is able to assess the goodness of past approaches or policies and learn from the past good action sequences to be able to generate a policy. So in this example, there are various sequence of steps has to be followed to complete this output. The single move by itself is not the important. It is a sequence of right moves that is good. So a move is good if it is a part of a good game playing strategy. In a simpler terms, reinforcement learning is a machine learning training method based on rewarding desired behaviors and punishing undesired ones. So this is a simple terms we can say that if you are playing a game, suppose when you achieve something, they will give some rewards. If you are not achieved as per that game rules, then you are not getting any rewards. So in the same way, in a general terminology, if you say that when a dog trainer is training to the dog, so if dog is done as per the desired by the trainer, then he will give some food. In the same way, if a child has done as expected by the mother, then they will give some reward. If a employee is working and delivering the project as per the expected by the manager, then he will give some bonus. So these are the various reinforcement learning things which we can consider. We will see more examples in the coming videos. Thank you.